Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining in at InnoVEX Live. We talk to startups about investments, technologies, trends, and all the good things that you are interested at. Now today we have a very exciting program ahead. We have a fantastic lineup. So today we have a couple of guests that I'd like to introduce first, starting with Cindy from Capital Investment Management.
Hi everyone, Cindy.
Did I get that right?
From Premier Capital Management.
Okay.
Very close.
Okay. And we have Jane from i3D.
Hi guys.
And Ethan from TMY Tech.
Hello everyone.
Okay, so we have two startups and a venture capitalist. So let me kick off the program by asking James. That's your product-ish.
Yes.
Right, okay. Would you be so kind, maybe just to tell us a little bit about the technology and how this can be applied, and also what do you expect out of a VC engagement?
Sure, of course. So let me just introduce you a little bit about my company. So we're called i3D, like that's microelectronics. So fundamentally, we are a IC design house. But we're doing things a little bit differently. We invented a business model called modular vertical integration. So basically, we're not only doing IC design, but we're also doing module. We're also doing software. We're also doing algorithm services. Combining that, we make a product such like a module, or we can do solution-oriented products, and we can move them around. Sell this and sell that, or combine everything, sell together. Kind of situation. So our topic is computer vision. So we started actually 8 years ago from a group called Etron. It's a group that does memory, and we've been doing that for 8 years. So one of the pioneers at this computer vision, I would say, for the whole world. Okay. And started off as a 3D sensing topic with stereoscopic, which is imitating the human eyes. So by two lenses, two sensors, combining with our IC, we can generate the 3D depth data, right? And in 2016, we spin off as an independent company. So we're fully independent. We have our own R&D team, we have our own IP, our own cells, and we're expecting to move more products and more innovation technologies into the market. So with our, what you're seeing right here is one of this is actually our developer board. Our product is actually right here. This is the IC that does the magic. So it's a little bit hard to understand, but these are two ports where you can connect two cameras in. And then after processed by this IC, you can get this 3D raw data directly from this IC. So this will save you the power consumption or the calculation burden from your whole system. And you can also make that into a big camera or a small camera like this, which gives you a total solution. So this particular product is a little bit interesting. You can try to Google it. But we call it the 8040. It's actually the world's first camera that can does 180-degree depth map output. So it works pretty much just like human beings. So like we have about 160 degrees of field of view. Here is about 180. So you can see all the 3D information extractions from your surrounding world. So that's another product.
And where does this can be applied to? Where can this be applied to?
I would say 3D is an everywhere technology. I think we will grow together with AI. Because the purpose of AI is for prediction, right? So to do predictions, you need data. 3D is obviously a more complete and more precise, and the kind of data that removes what we call uncertainty. So you can see it in surveillance camera, you can see it in your cell phone, you can see it in the very popular Industry 4.0, and really just an everywhere technology.
Okay. And as a startup company, obviously the parenting company is Etron Technologies, but are you still engaging with VCs?
We are actually trying to engage with VC. Actually, through this program, we urge all the VCs to come and talk to us. We officially spin off from Etron since 2016. We are trying to look for a new route, either to the market or a source of finance. So we want to talk to financial institute. We also want to talk to strategic investments. So we're open for a talk. Actually, by the end of this year, we will be announcing a lot of exciting news. Also, we will officially open our Series B to the investors and also to any strategic investors that are interested.
Okay, nice. That's from James' side. And how about Ethan? Would you care to tell us a little bit about TMY Tech, because your product is somewhat very technical, very technical. Would you enlighten us?
Okay, sure. I think in 5G era, actually there are two different spectrums to be used. The first one is associated with low frequency, we call it sub-6 gigahertz, right? Actually, that's everybody's talking about 5G. That's the one we go first. But in another end, with another spectrum, we use millimeter wave. That's high spectrum. So high frequency technology is hardcore. So today I'm not gonna talk too much about my product, but actually I think that millimeter wave technology has been used in niche market a long time before, like in scientific research or defense and military, that kind of thing, right? So the founder of TMY Tech, Wang and myself, we ever work in an institute of astronomy and astrophysics. So that's why, what does it matter to millimeter wave? Actually, if everybody remember, that's the very first photo of black hole has been shot like a few months ago.
Yes, I remember that.
That one, right?
Yes.
Actually, that's been captured by millimeter wave telescope. Actually, Wang and myself, we ever contribute to part of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's part of our work before.
Can I shake your hand? Can I shake your hand? I need to shake it. That's quite interesting. That's
you need to shake your hand with the black hole. Right. So actually, that's a very long time ago stuff, right? That's for scientific research. But now today, that's very first time human being decide to use millimeter wave as the mobile communication spectrum. So the most benefit is all about bandwidth. Actually, the super large bandwidth of millimeter wave spectrum, that's the very first thing we are going to be benefit. Right. So okay, we focus on millimeter wave technology. So we build up the product. For example, that one. Probably you can see closer here. The little square dots here, actually they are antenna. So that's really something different from 4G or 3G actually, right? The antenna in 4G, that's really a big piece of metal. But in millimeter wave, antenna is like that small piece of patches. So that means that the gain will be super low. So the traveling distance will be short. So how to increase the power? We use a lot of patches, right? So we need to control every single patches independently. That the technology here we call it beamforming. So for 5G millimeter wave, the key technology is beamforming. And TMY Tech, we really focus, we dedicate ourselves on beamforming technology. So for example, that one is we created for R&D and the production line. Okay, right. Before everything get into mass production, people need to go through R&D phase and then get into MP phase, right? So for both of the era, we have associated solutions. For example, this one, this piece, we call it B-box. That is not something.
B-box. The B-box.
The B-box. Why we call it B-box? That's beamformer box. Right. Okay. So we create this part. The golden plate here, that's antenna part, and here is circuit and the software. Actually, we also need a lot of software to control the beam. Right. Let me take an example. In 4G, the radiation signal is everywhere from an antenna.
Yes.
But in 5G, actually the signal is very, very directly. So the signal will look like this. It's a beam.
Okay.
So we need a way to control the beam. Yeah, to track the mobile phone.
Okay.
That's iPad. That's your iPhone 13. I don't know. Right. So basically, that's what we're doing. We help the industrial to get MP ready. So that's development tool for antenna designer or for baseband protocol developer.
So apart from space telescopes,
Right.
would this technology be filtered into products that we perhaps see every day in the future?
Yeah. That's for R&D and production. But for this one, the small module, actually we intend to create for 5G base station.
Okay.
Right. So base station, people still need like a phase array. We call it array, right? Base array. So we build up the array with very small size, and does the same thing like that once. So we do things very compact. We do everything in one little area. So here's the chipset, and the antenna is on the top side.
Okay, those little dots, those square dots.
Square dots.
Okay.
Right. So when we have that, we target at the base station market. So yeah, definitely in 5G in the future, it can be seen everywhere.
Fantastic. And how about approaching VCs or investors? Are you guys looking for those too?
Actually, we just finished Series A.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just 3 months ago. But I remember I've ever seen a movie, John Wick.
Yes.
Series number 3.
Yes.
Well, what do you need, John Wick? Money. Lots of money, right? Right.
Okay.
That's one. Yeah, but actually, that's kidding. But what we can foresee, something is happening faster and it's faster than I expected. For example, the base station. There are more than 5 huge first-tier companies around the world, from Japan and from France, to launch the project with us to build up. We call it AIP, antenna in package. So we can foresee that something's gonna happen soon. So we will need another round of funding.
Okay. So you just finished Series A.
Yep.
And James is
Round B.
round B already.
Round B, yes.
So out of that, Cindy, would you like to share with your thoughts with us?
Okay, I'm probably gonna talk about my fund a little bit. So I work for Premier Capital Management. Our fund was funded 30 years ago, and we do most of our investments in semiconductor, IT, and we have 5 funds. So some invest in early stage, some invest in post B round. So happy to talk to you guys about it. Of course, we're always looking at IoT and 5G. That's like the hot topics now that everybody talks about. I am kind of curious is that you guys talk about like you're looking for strategic investors. So what resource do you think the strategic investor, what do you expect from them to provide you aside from just, financially?
From my part, I think for us, strategic investor will be people who can provide us 2 things. One is direct assistance in technology development. So could be IPs, could be human resource. And on the other hand, you probably just direct channels. So it could be distributor, or it could be the end brand owners. If I were to look at the consumer electronics, some of my strategic investor could be Samsung, LG, the Apple, more like that. That would be considered as strategic because as an IC design house, I think centric is still based on our silicon. So anyone who can help move our silicon in a technological way or in I would say trade kind of aspect, like increase our sales of our product, will be considered as strategic investor. Yeah.
Thank you, that's my part. Actually, what we expected from VC is actually, money is one thing, but I think more important is that, for example, that's for base station, right? So actually, we work very hard to penetrate into the market. So who's gonna buy those base stations? Those are operators. But operator currently buys like a space station from Nokia, from Ericsson. So actually, our technology can fit into that ecosystem. We can provide a key part for millimeter wave, so the people can integrate that's we call the RF front end and the baseband into together, and build up the whole base station. So we like the connection to penetrate into the ecosystem. That's what we are working on now. For example, actually, this Japanese operator KDDI, they already purchased our equipment of that for their very early investigate the property of millimeter wave, that kind of thing. Okay, that's a very good first part. But the final target would be this, right? The space station module. So if we can keep working with KDDI, then probably we have a good chance to do that. So the connection and the strategy to go to market, that's what we need.
Right. And obviously, this is a two-way conversation. So, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions to ask Cindy about her funds, or any general questions that you'd like to shoot to her, or us from the Taipei Computer Association side? How can we help as well? But obviously, shoot questions to her first.
Okay. So I go first now.
Do it backward.
Actually, we are a Taiwanese company so far. I have to say that's kind of hard to raise funding in Taiwan. So I
see where this is going.
I'm not complaining about everything, right? But I'm just curious on how do you see a startup? How do you evaluate the value of a startup? And how do you give that evaluation?
First, I need to give you credit because you said it's really hard to fundraise in Taiwan, but you raised $3 million, so that's incredible.
Okay,
yep.
She's good.
But well, I think so. I'm also a representative of a US-based fund.
Okay.
It's called Perseverance Capital. We do investments in mostly in healthcare related, and in fact, we just sold one of our portfolio companies to a Boston Scientific for $400 million last year. So I understand it's hard to raise money in Taiwan because of some of the ticket size that you're asking for, and the funds in Taiwan are not as ginormous. But I mean, if you're raising globally, there are a lot of funds worldwide that can provide you the cash that you need, and probably the resources, the selling channel, the connections that you need. Like for Apple, you probably need to talk to someone in Silicon Valley, instead of just staying in Taiwan. So I would say that when you go out and fundraise, don't focus just in Taiwan. Globally, there are funds, everywhere that they're always looking into investments. But I think our fund sold System General to Fairchild like 10-15 years ago. Yeah, so sometimes we do identify some good portfolio companies and we reach out to bigger companies in other countries and we try to sell them. But this comes back to a little question that I have. Just first bouncing back, I know a lot of Taiwan companies, when they think about exit strategy, they want an IPO. But I'm just as founders, management teams, I wonder if that's like their only
objective
for exit. Do you think merging or being acquired is also an option?
To our company, yes. I think all the options are open still for now. Yeah, of course, our goal currently still be like to build up a team. We work together and then get the company very big, and we go to market like IPO. That's the first priority. But to be acquired, or that's also possible. Because for this kind of hardcore technology, that's kind of a trend to be acquired. But we're still thinking IPO will be our first priority. But as you're saying, we are not only targeting the fund in Taiwan. So if we like to go to, for example, the US to do the fundraising, is that the part you and your company can help?
Yes, we do. We partner with a lot of funds worldwide, so there is always a channel that we can make an introduction for you. And usually when we see the ticket size being large, we look for co-investors, whether from institution or individual investors, so that's always an option. And I think what we look for in a pitch is, I think it's not as important. Like, people don't explain it enough, like how team really matters, especially when you're fundraising other countries and states, management team really matters. So when you're start off as a founder, you do have the technology, but what we see is it's kind of hard for a once you reach a certain level, it's hard for founders to grow the company big enough because sometimes they lack the leadership skills. So leadership skills is actually something that we look for when we first meet founder, because this founder needs to have the ability to not only understand the technology but also the ability to tell a good story and go out and fundraise. Because later on, fundraising will get harder and harder because if you don't turn cash flow positive, E round, C round, D round, it's going to get harder. So I have an example of a portfolio company that we invested in. They have this very unique technology, but this is in healthcare. And by the time of D round, they're already valued at $100 million US. Yeah, but then they never turn cash flow positive because in the healthcare sector, the sales cycle is so long. So they never expect that it'll take longer for them to, actually make a big sell. So at the end, $100 million US, nobody's gonna, invest in the company anymore. So that's one, sometimes so the second thing I would say is, recurring revenue, annual revenue. Of course, we care about the numbers, and especially even if you have a projection, it's always very important if you have a strong data or metrics to back up your numbers. Because sometimes startup will come to us and be like, oh, this is my product and XYZ, and I want for this valuation. I'm not gonna go lower than that valuation. But we need to have a sort of a matrix or something that
to back up that
valuation. And sometimes it's hard to reach a consensus with startups because obviously So that's something that I think maybe you can keep in mind, because very high valuation very early on will lead to higher to fundraise later on. Yeah. And of course we look for transparency, because sometimes I think VCs want to be a mentor, want to give resources, but the startups never come to us for asking for resources. They only want to tell us the good news. But so we really look for transparency as well.
And James, you have any questions for Cindy?
Yeah, I'm just very cautious because I'm afraid I will turn into a very big complaining event. There's a few things I want to say though. I would say the how things work here in Taiwan and abroad is a little different. A few things. I see for an investor, they're very focused on mission statement.
Yes.
We're in Taiwan, they come in and ask you what kind of problem to solve. For me, I think problems are never ending. If the problem ends, then I'll be humanity. Right? So I think I'm here really urging some of the investors in Taiwan to really look at it, to look at the mission statements, and then to look at a team. I agree to what you said. The team is very important. I mean, if the people's right, then we have enough funding. And if the plan is right, the problem exists, then you have the passion. Then this team will somehow be successful. Right? And if you can be agile enough, change your direction from time to time, and then follow the market and not just follow your heart. And that's a few things that I find a lot of Taiwanese investors really look at, yes. Which I find it a little bit frustrating because every time I talk to funds in Taiwan that has mixed background like yourself, foreign funds, local funds where you're managing, usually the answer will come to me, yeah, I'll introduce you to foreign fund. But as like we're from Taiwan, our mother companies from Taiwan. We hope this technology can somewhat benefit Taiwan more. Therefore, actually, from deep inside, bottom of our heart, we're looking for investors. Have some Taiwanese background. It doesn't have to be the lead investor, doesn't have to be a major investor. But somehow, from my experience, interestingly, it's always the big guys who has huge interest in us. We were offered actually a few times for acquisitions. Of course, we turned down because we see 3D Sense Income Division has such a long way to go. We are Series B, but I wonder why only ends at D or E? Why is there no?
Well, you can go on forever. You can name
right?
it post-C, pre-C. There are always names for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would just say that from my point of view, for investors in Taiwan, I just really hope that people can pay more attention in the mission statements and the team and the plan, and not only focusing on the financial statements. For ourselves, we're actually doing quite good already. I mean, we're in Amazon Go, we're MP, we're selling to Facebook. So it's a pretty strong portfolio. Yeah, people still challenge our financial performance target. I mean, isn't that the whole purpose of venture capital, right?
Oh well, because the ticket size is pretty big.
Right.
But I think for you, I think the right way for VCs to approach would be to talk to some of the maybe some of the tech companies in Taiwan, because actually all of the tech companies have like an investment arm that they do, and I think what you need is to identify like the right strategic partner tech companies, and I think VCs can do that to help you source. And then everybody maybe can sit down and talk about how everybody can help the company and how to aside from putting money in, that would be a better way.
I agree. So previously, like, it sounded like a complaint, but I think
it's never a complaint.
Yeah, it was always a both side thing.
There's always this rivalry between.
It's always a both side.
Speaking about corporate investors or larger ICT companies that has investment departments, that is where TCA comes in. Actually, we have. I'm not here to advertise, of course, but TCA has 4,000 corporate members with underneath the TCA umbrella, and quite a majority of those guys exhibit at Computex. And we've been approached a number of times by larger corporates, local and foreign, saying that they are looking for new things to invest. So I know James has not yet participated at InnoVEX.
I have not yet.
Not yet, but hopefully soon.
Great. 3 years is still eligible, right?
Yes. So 2020 InnoVEX is on the first week of June.
Right.
And I know Ethan has already participated.
Right.
But you're definitely welcome again at 2020 InnoVEX.
Yeah.
Sure. And that InnoVEX is also where I met Cindy. So speaking about corporate investors, speaking about expanding your channels abroad, I think Computex InnoVEX could be one of a nice platform to operate on. I hope that's is agreeable. I have one question to you guys, all three of you actually. Recently, I've heard a comment from a startup friend saying that, I don't want to exhibit too many places because my investors forbid too much marketing. Is that an issue, or is that a concern at all? Too much marketing for a startup?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard of it.
Okay.
Yes.
So if there's no issue with too much marketing, then our registration for InnoVEX 2020 is open, and you're welcome to register again.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
For sure.
James.
Yeah, for sure.
I think our time's up almost. So any last couple of words that you guys want to shout out to whoever is watching this? I know James had a comment to local investors. Any following comments?
Yeah, but aside from that, we're more than happy to see more investors to talk to us. Like I said, we'll be making some big announcements by the end of the year. And I think I have very versatile students here. I think I see a collaboration opportunity between us. Yes, of course, with TCA participation in InnoVEX, and I'm looking forward to your introductions.
Okay. Let's talk more.
Yeah, and Ethan?
Yep. So I would thank you for the opportunity, because since we're going to University in LA.
That's next week, right?
Next week, yeah. So we really appreciate this opportunity. We can go together and meet up at Qualcomm. So that's a very important customer we would like to approach. So I would thank you for today. And yes, InnoVEX.
Thank you.
Keep it in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cindy, would you obviously you have to come back to InnoVEX again next year, right?
Yeah, of course. It's a great event. everybody should go. It really is.
It is.
I mean, that's where we met. That's where we met.
I always go.
It's like the first time, ever seen that many startups in, in this one exhibition hall, which is.
I mean, if you look at the numbers, we have 467 exhibitors this year. But we're looking to grow because the numbers are so. I think there are a couple of reasons. We actually limit the participation of startups to be 5 years and below. So that's one barrier, and they need to have some sort of prototype at least. So they cannot come into InnoVEX saying, "Oh, I have an idea and I would like to do that." That won't happen in InnoVEX. So I think that sort of limits our numbers a little bit. But if you look at the diversity and the visitors that comes in, it's fairly B2B, definitely, and it's definitely Asia Pacific region, that sort of style. Obviously, we have loads of participation from Europe, from the States too, but I think if your market, the channel market is here in Asia Pacific, but you also have the possibility of meeting investors from abroad other than Asia markets. This is probably one of the places you can spend less money with higher output. So thank you so much, guys, for coming. Looking forward to your participation at MWC and James, maybe at InnoVEX 2020,
Yes, we'll be there.
and definitely Cindy many times again in the future. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for joining at InnoVEX Live, and we'll see you at next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.